All right, so we decided to take a trip, went all the way out to Connecticut, and we're doing some off-roading. So we brought the 1500 Duramax out here, and I'm already starting to see some issues. Stock, the truck is great. It's a 2024 1500 with the Trail Balls package. Comes with a standard 2-inch lift, but we're starting to notice some pretty obvious clearance issues. I mean, you can see we're barely going over anything, and it's not leaving us with too much room under the truck itself. So I think these tires have to go. So I'm gonna call my guys over at Rough Country and see what they recommend us doing and see what we can do on parts, and let's beef this thing up a little bit. We're gonna maybe, I don't know, I mean, definitely needs to be lifted. Maybe we can just throw some bigger tires on to give it that extra clearance. But I think we should do 35s. Yeah, screw it, we'll do 35. But we're gonna continue on our way down this trailhead, and you can see it rained here like 2 days ago, so there's not really that much mud. Most of this is actually filled up with water, and we'll continue on our way down there and see what else we come across. So we'll carry on. As you all can tell, I have a Rough Country shirt on. Reached out to my guys at Rough Country. After taking the truck off-roading, I noticed that there were a lot of clearance issues and just overall suspension issues with the truck. You know, right out the box, 2024 1500 Silverado does a great job with the Z71 package. Comes with a 2-inch lift. It got through a lot more than I thought it would get through. But we had clearance issues. Every single time we went into a rut with mud, we were bottoming out the skid plates. I don't want to do that. I want the tread to keep the truck off the ground. So we asked them, hey, what do you guys have for leveling? And in their response, sent me a huge banner and a massive pile of parts. So we have the Vertex front coilover system. We had the Vertex rear shocks. We had the 2.5-inch spacer blocks for the rear. And they also sent us these gorgeous 20-inch wheels. These are 20 by 9 with a 0 offset. And I asked Andy, I was like, hey man, what size tire do you think we should put on this? And he was like, just get a 35. That's normal. Normal to him. Here is my tire beforehand. Here is the new tire after. I mean, it almost fills the wheel well to its entirety. So we're going to use the leveling kit because factory, this tire is not going to fit in there. The leveling kit, Coilovers, is going to raise at the front 1 3/4 inches. The back, it came with a 2.5-inch spacer block. Since it is a leveling kit, we're not raising the back, but it did come with a 2.5-inch block versus the factory 2-inch block. So we will swap those two out. And I'll show you guys how to. Now, if you guys don't have any info about the 24 Silverados, the upper control arms on these trucks are maxed out from the factory. There is no possibility of raising this truck anymore without having a severe failure on your control arms. And you can already tell on my control arms, I mean, they are pretty much already rotated down and angled out. So if we lifted this truck up 1 3/4 inches, that ball joint's going to even be more pivoted down, and that's not what we want. So we're also going to be putting in Rough Country's 3.5-inch lift control arms, and they sent them in red. It was very nice of them. So I'm going to show you guys how to do this. We're going to take this step by step and get through it. All right, so first step is take off your skid plate. Well, I'm just gonna turn. That seemed to have worked. You have to, let me get you guys a little better view right here. your rack and pinion, you have to disconnect this. I've already disconnected the battery, but we're going to be changing the angle of some things and need to make sure everything resets properly. Oh, the hell of a clip, I'll tell you that. I'm trying to use let me get a pick, but you're going to be unplugging this and I'll show you guys what to do next. Okay, so the first thing after that is then we're going to loosen up our steering knuckle. We're just going to give it a good smack. And come on. Might need a little bit bigger smack. Easy peasy. Go ahead and grab our nut. And then remove this completely. That way, now we can pivot the entire knuckle as we need. So next up, we're going to be taking off some of our sensors, some of our wiring, and then we're going to break free our strut and everything like that. Now that we've taken off all of our wiring, all of our knuckle and everything, install guide says to take off the brake caliper. I really don't see much of a point. We've already disconnected a line to where there's plenty of slack. So we're going to go ahead and pop the knuckle, and I'm going to put a jack stand just to kind of hold this guy up. So we're going to see if that plays out or not. And that came out really easy. It actually already popped free. So what we're doing now is loosening the 318 millimeter nuts on top of the strut housing that hold it to the frame of the vehicle. Not the greatest position to get to them, so you gotta sit here and use either a open-end ratcheting wrench. It's finally loosened up enough to where I can spin it off, or you got to sit there with an open-end wrench and crank, pull. Probably not that's the most fun. There is now all 3 bolts on top and on the 2 bolts on the bottom are all removed. This strut assembly is just sitting in there. The lower control arm is pushing up slightly on it, and you can push down on that to give you that extra leeway. So I went ahead and lowered my jack that was holding my, my knuckle in a particular position. And what we're going to do is just lightly press down the lower control arm to pull that bottom out. Voila! Now we're going to take off the control arm, and then we're going to put a new control arm in before we put our new coilover in. Well, on the inside, that's the actual bolt, so the bolt has to go in towards the spring housing. So we're going to use a 21 open end, put it on the outside to hold that locking nut in place. I'm going to use a massive 1/2 inch with a breaker bar in order to break this free. There's your 2 bolts holding your control arm. That's it. Now we're going to get our new rough country 3.5 inch and put that in. I mean, this is only a year old, and this has a lot of movement to it already. So definitely, when these do fail, they end up popping out the bottom. So, doesn't have any in play that I can feel, but the fact on how loose this is right off the bat, I'm not liking it. So even if you're not doing a lift or leveling, replace your control arms. They make one for just OEM as well. So you don't have to go with the manufacturers. You can keep going with an aftermarket. And the nice part is the rough country is a greasable fitting. So you can make sure that the ball joint always stays greased. Well, I hope you guys are enjoying the absolute mess I'm making of Andy's house. So on the rough country, you're going to notice that there is a bolt here, and that is going to be for your sensors. So don't forget to take and remove the original nut off of the original control arm. Right there's a space saver, so you don't forget about it, and you know exactly where it is. But look at that nice greasable fitting, nice heavy duty ball joint. Overall, this feels very nice and sturdy. Definitely see a big difference here, but they do have everything labeled, so this is going to be your left. So let's talk about the 2024 Silverado. They all come with Rancho shocks and springs. This is the front left strut housing, let's say. There are two ways that you can raise and level this truck. One way is the cheap route, where you get plates and spacers and put these on your in the right orientation, I guess. That doesn't even go on there. Oh, there we go. So that will give you, you know, 1/4 inch. And what you're supposed to do is actually take the strut assembly apart, which if you're not in a mechanic shop, or if you have access to, I basically think your death traps are the claws to pull the springs together so you can remove the top housing, and you would then place this compressing plate to add more spring tension. I don't like doing that, especially if you have to use the claws. I'd rather replace the entire strut assembly because the shocks have also had wear on them. So to show you what Rough Country has sent me is the Vertex coilover kit. Now, right off the bat, box immaculate. They use closed cell foam in all their packages. But this has an external reservoir. And look at that beefy boy. So we're going to have an external reservoir. That way we can get a little bit more shock absorption. We're going to have more gas in there. It's going to add, and also cooling. Having it external, you're able to cool that internal gas a little better. Right off the bat, you're going to notice how big that bottom bushing is. And I'm going to tip this up. Look at the difference on the bushings here. I mean, that's a massive bushing in here on the bottom end. So hopefully it'll take a little bit more of an impact. I lost my nut. That happens, you know. But we're going to go ahead and get this all dialed up. We're going to extend the coilover a little bit before we put it in. Start getting some adjustments made. That way, hopefully, once we get it on the truck, we don't have to tear it all back off to adjust even more. We now have our Vertex coilover. This is a lot heavier than the factory shock. So what we're going to do is we're going to crawl in here. We're going to stick this guy up. There's going to be a plate that holds your external reservoir. That is going to slide on top. All right, so we've installed our reservoir. My light unfortunately died, but we have a reservoir, uses 2 worm clamps. It mounts onto a bracket that goes on top of the entire strut housing. You want to loop the braided line outside so it does not come in contact with the control arm. All right, so in order to get to this point, you do have to disassemble the other side, but once you do that, everything droops low enough to where you can kind of work it in. We're then going to now jump on the other side, get into the same exact position before we finish up this side. But that's at least the tutorial on how to do this so far, and we'll continue it as we finish up the other side. All right, so guys, after your control arm and your Vertex coilover is in, I mean, you can see how drastically lower that front hub is. Now, it is also fully extended, not compacted. So that's basically your leveling kit. If you want to tweak it, you can use the threads on the coilover, which are available at Rough Country, to unlock the locking ring and then use a looks like a pick style key to turn. Um, Again, those are available on Rough Country's website, but I'm going to go to sleep before I even try to put these things on. So I'm going to stick my stock guys on, head home, get a few hours of sleep, come right back in here, and we are going to dig into the rear. So, hope you all enjoyed the video. I am extremely dirty. That was not fun, but it was a learning experience for both of us. We will continue with the back once I get back in the morning.